Hello, and welcome to this session in which we are going to talk about how you can build a personal brand using LinkedIn and other digital mediums. My name is Ali Mashudi. For those who don't know me, I have nearly 15 years of experience in various technology roles in corporates across the world. I also have a lot of experience in terms of freelance and helping people build their career profiles, digital presence, websites, and helping them improve on their CV and recruitment chances. Today's session, we'll try to keep it short, about 30 minutes or so, and we'll focus on what are the best ways in which we can use LinkedIn, build your personal profile, your digital brand, and maximize your chances of career progression. So let's start. Okay, I hope everyone can see the slide deck which I'm going to use. Before we jump into how you can make use of LinkedIn, it's really important to understand how does a LinkedIn algorithm works, because LinkedIn is very different from other social media platforms like Facebook. And the reason it's important for you to understand how a LinkedIn works, how the algorithm works, is because there are lots and lots of people, hundreds of millions of people on LinkedIn at the moment. And when you post something, it's not necessary that your post will be shown to everybody who are you connected to. Otherwise, the newsfeed will become really cluttered. So all social media platforms, including LinkedIn, built an algorithm which looks at your post and decides is it worth to be shown to some people, to a lot of people, or to nobody, in which case the market as spam and it gets really little engagement. So let's first try to understand in what ways LinkedIn deciphers your post and puts it on the news feed of a lot of people. So the two key elements LinkedIn consider is the relevance of the content, because LinkedIn as a platform wants to make sure that if someone is looking at the news feed, they get relevant content. Nobody likes to be spammed, and it is in trust of LinkedIn to make sure that they're putting relevant content on the news feed of people. And secondly, LinkedIn as a platform wants to make sure that there's a lot of engagement going on their platform. So these are the two key factors on which the algorithm works. So when you make a post on LinkedIn, irrespective of what is the content type or format of the post, the first thing which happens is that there's something called quality sorting for the initial placement. And this is what LinkedIn uses to make sure that is it a spam post, in which case it might not be shown to anybody on the news feed, or it might be shown to very few people. So your first criteria is to pass that quality sorting, and as you can see on the slide at the bottom, the key ways to pass through the quality sorting is one, make sure you're using good grammar, good language, and your post has a positive tone. For this, you can use a tool called Grammarly. There's a free version of that. If you've written a text post, you put your post into Grammarly, and it will tell you here are some grammatical or spelling mistakes or punctuation mistakes, and here is the tone of the post. So that will help you adjust that before you put it onto LinkedIn to pass that initial quality sorting criteria or filter. Grammarly, of course, comes with a paid version as well, which is a lot more useful, which you can use on your emails, your Gmails as well, so that you can know what's the tone of the email you're writing. So once you pass through that quality sorting, the next step is your further placement of the post, because your post is not really shown to. So let's say you are connected to 1,000 people on your LinkedIn, and when you make that post, it's not really shown to all of those 1,000 people in one go. LinkedIn will assess how many people to show it to. Let's say you pass that criteria, it's shown to 50 people. Now it's next to how do those group of 50 people engage with your post, and that will determine is it shown to more people or not. So that virality, as you call it, or a post going viral, is really dependent on how are the people engaging with your post once you have put it on your LinkedIn. So those further placements are dependent through your engagement ratio. And finally, the interest relevance is really important. So make sure when you're posting something, you're keeping in view the people you're connected to, your audience, and you're posting something which they find relevant, because it's only then that they will engage with it. And when I say engagement, I mean people liking it, people commenting it, people sharing the post, all that stuff. So some really good tips and tricks in terms of when you're using LinkedIn. One is that instead of going really wide or broad in terms of your content or topic, I would recommend you to keep it really, really niche. So find an area in which you want to progress your career in which you want to present yourself as a thought leader, as an expert, where you want to showcase your skill set, and just focus on that particular niche. Otherwise, that wide or broad range of topics or contents will not really get you anywhere in terms of getting engagement. So when your post is really niche, LinkedIn can identify that, and it will show that post to those people who are really interested in that niche or topic. The readability of your post is really, really important. So when you're writing text, make sure that you're not dumping a whole Word document or lots of text in there. Just format it nicely into sentences, use grammar, use punctuation marks. And you can use a lot of symbols and emojis where you need to. What I've also learned over time is text works really well on LinkedIn over other formats. This is probably not to do with algorithm itself. It's just that the kind of audience which or people who are on LinkedIn, they prefer going through text. So I would recommend using more text-based posts instead of videos or images. Um, like any other platform, LinkedIn wants to make sure that its users stay native to the platform. So when someone is on LinkedIn, they want to make sure that they spend as much time on LinkedIn as possible without going away. So when you post something externally, like a link to a news article on Guardian's website or a BBC video, that has the potential to take the user away from LinkedIn. So LinkedIn algorithm actually penalizes you for that. So I would recommend that when you're posting something on LinkedIn externally, use the link in the comment instead of in the post main body itself. And if you really have to post a video or an image or an article, use LinkedIn's native tools to do that. LinkedIn allows you to post articles or blogs, so post your blog there instead of posting on Medium and then putting the link on LinkedIn. Similarly, images hosted natively on LinkedIn, videos as well. You can post directly on LinkedIn and share that instead of posting a YouTube link. So that will make sure that you bypass that filter and LinkedIn doesn't penalizes you. So you are trying to make sure that you stay native in the LinkedIn platform. When you're posting content, one thing really important is you want to make sure that it encourages a response. So maybe you can, at the end of your post, you can leave a question or keep the curiosity going. You want to make sure that people engage with it. So either add a question or write your content in a way that it encourages either a like or a comment or people engage with that post. When you're tagging people, don't tag too many people. Only tag those people who you know are likely to respond to it or engage with it. If you tag too many people and none of them interact with it, LinkedIn considers it as you just randomly tag people, you're spamming them because they will get a notification and they're not engaging with it. So make sure that you're only tagging those people who will likely engage with your post. And as I previously said, outbound links, any links to external websites, whether it's YouTube or a news article or a blog, don't post it in the main body of your post. Rather, put it in the first comment. So in the post, you can say, hey, see the link in the first comment. Now, keywords and hashtags are really good. So, for example, if let's say you're posting about product management or engineering, you can use really, really niche tags. Don't use generic tags like engineering or product. Just be specific. For example, if you post about product leadership, use that tag. If you posted about using a particular tool, use that tag. So go niche on that, but don't overdo tags. This is not Facebook, so don't put like 10 tags in there. Just use one or two relevant tags. As I previously said, use questions to spark engagement. Um, and you really need to know what's the right time to post. So knowing your target audience is really important. So based on your time zones and where are you targeting your post to be seen, find out what's the best time to post for LinkedIn. Usually, based on your target audience, just before starting work or lunchtime is usually a good time. That's when people scroll through the newsfeed. So posting on that time is really useful. One important tip is consistency. Don't overdo. Don't just get excited and one day post like a dozen of posts. Consistency and being regular is really important. So choose how much time you can dedicate, whether it's just one or two posts a day, but just stay consistent. So make sure you're posting one or two posts every day so that LinkedIn over time through AI knows that this person is really active on LinkedIn, they're regularly communicating, and on your newsfeed, when people see your posts, they will know that you're regularly contributing and they will start seeing you and recognizing you as a brand, as a person. Uh, Once you have made a post on LinkedIn, make sure that you just don't leave it and just go away. It is really important that you go to your newsfeed, look at what other people are posting, and interact with them. And that's another tip you can use to engage with other people. And when you're liking, sharing, or commenting on other people's posts, right after making your own post, they're likely to come to your profile and see what have you posted and then engage with that. Not only that, LinkedIn will also consider that you are interacting or engaging with other people and likely show your post to them as well, because the algorithm will think that you are connected or you're engaging with each other, and then show your post to them as well. So it's really important. If somebody engages with your post, like likes it or comments it, don't just leave it there. Respond to them, because that engagement or feedback loop will help your post to be shown to more people. Don't edit your post once you have posted it on LinkedIn, and the algorithm will penalize you and it might not be shown to more people. So just double check your post before you are doing it. And once it's done, just leave it there. No edits, no changes. And as I said, if anyone marks your post as spam, you will be heavily penalized for that. So make sure that you know your target audience. When you're posting something they like, it doesn't offend anybody. It isn't taken too controversially, or people find it too broad or not interested. So avoid that. One really cool tip which I personally used as well is making use of your friends and your network. So as I said, when you put something on LinkedIn, your post. Um, LinkedIn starts looking at how many people are engaging with the post in the first few minutes, let's say half an hour. And if the engagement ratio is really low, it won't show it to more people. So how you can bypass that is, once you're doing a post, just drop a message to your friends and tell them, hey, I'm making this post. Can you like, comment, share this post, or just engage with it? Or after you posted it, just take the link of the post, send it to your friends, and ask them to engage with it. So that engagement really goes a long way, because LinkedIn starts thinking that, okay, people are engaging with it, so I need to show it to more people. So then you start building that layers of making the post viral. Resharing other people's posts doesn't really work. LinkedIn prefers original content. So if you're resharing someone's post, it won't get you personally any benefit. The engagement with that post will benefit the person who wrote the original post. So original content is really important on LinkedIn. One other kind of technical tip, LinkedIn keeps releasing new content types. It started with text post and image-based post and links. Then it released its own blogging engine called Articles. It allows you to do news posts. So make sure if LinkedIn ever releases a new post type, you make use of that. My hypothesis here is that any platform, when they're releasing a new capability or a feature, they want to make sure people use that. And if you use something new, my hypothesis is that LinkedIn algorithm will give you bonus points for using it and show that post. So keep an eye on what are the new features being released on LinkedIn and exploit them to your own advantage. I previously said that posting native on LinkedIn is really important. So whether you're posting videos on links, post them on native. Don't post on YouTube and share the link here. LinkedIn has the video capability. So punchy, short video content goes a long way. Text works best. We briefly spoke about that, probably because of the kind of audience you have on LinkedIn. Um, when you start posting on LinkedIn, irrespective of what you're posting, between the lines, make sure that you are somehow showcasing your skill set, your experience, what are your aspirations, where you want to go, where do you want to see yourself in 5 years. If you are looking at a leadership position, um, start sounding like one. You can use your post to convey that idea that I might not have all those skill sets, but I'm thinking on those lines. Think about the future, your aspirations and your goals, and put that into the content you're posting on LinkedIn. Uh, I personally don't shy away from sharing personal stories on LinkedIn. Of course, it is not Facebook, but as long as you can contextualize your personal stories on the LinkedIn in terms of the audience, your goals, and your aspirations or your strategy, it goes a long way. To give you one example, I had this conversation with my 5-year-old son Hussein. He was asking me the other day about what is an algorithm, and I described that to him in a very layman's term. I, being a techie, I knew he's a 5-year-old, so I used an analogy of a waiter going to a restaurant and what happens. And I thought maybe I can put it on LinkedIn, and I did in a very personalized way. Um, I made sure that it's contextualized, kind of career oriented and professional development point of view. It was a very personal story to share, and I also put a picture of him when he was asking me these questions. And that was one of my most popular posts I've ever shared. I think it was shared about a few thousand times. It got a lot of engagement. Again, I keep saying that this is not Facebook, so there is a difference. Stay professional, and if you're posting something personal or emotionally driven, make sure you're contextualizing them. Your recommendations and skills scores are really important. So if you are starting new on LinkedIn, not only you should write recommendations for people you have worked with, you have been colleagues with, you have studied with, but also seek recommendations. As many recommendations as you can. They go a long way in terms of building your profile. LinkedIn also has the skill score where people can say that this person is skilled in SQL or I don't know medical procedures or writing SOPs. So make sure you ask your friends or colleagues or who you've worked with to mark your skills because that will help you get more visibility. Profile completion is really important. I mean, LinkedIn has a lot of features and your profile has a lot of capabilities. You can share a lot of details in that. And LinkedIn has a cool feature where it shows you how complete your profile is. So make sure you're filling in all the section and your profile should be 100% complete and public. This is a mistake which a lot of people make. Their LinkedIn profile is not public. So make sure you go to settings and mark it public and participate in groups on LinkedIn. There are a lot of active groups on LinkedIn based on your interests, on your aspirations. Join the groups and engage there. Don't be a silent spectator there. Engaging with the groups will get you in the eyes of other people and will increase your chances of progression. The other way when you're, as another tip when you're looking for jobs is to make sure that you are following the target companies uh, in terms of your goals, the recruiters, some of the individual potential line managers who you want to work with. So, for example, if you're targeting a tech company or a life sciences company or a publishing company, and you know that there is this guy, this manager, or this leader who is really well known in the industry who you want to work with, or you know someone from your acquaintances or someone else, follow them, engage with their post. Cold emails or cold messages will not get you anywhere. So build your rapport, get into their eyesight, get into the radar by engaging with their post. And then you can get to the next level when they start recognizing you. So keep in mind, this is not a short-term process. In LinkedIn or building your brand on LinkedIn, getting that visibility or applying for a job. This is like a 3 to 9 to 12 months project based on where you are and where you want to go to. So think long term and invest your time and energy into this process. One other thing which I usually do when I really want to use LinkedIn to get to something is keep an eye on popular trends. So LinkedIn has a really nice feature where you can go and see what are the popular trends in a particular country. So keep an eye on them, filter them down to your target areas, and then exploit them. And when I say exploit them, what I mean is that let's say there is a trend product leadership or SEO, which is getting popular. So basically, people are going, clicking that link and seeing those posts. So your post should be there as well, because you're getting a lot of free visibility getting to that hashtags list. So exploit those hashtags and trends and make sure you're posting content into those. Some of the data which I got from Hootsuite, which is a tool to schedule content on LinkedIn. So these are some of the best times to make your post. And as you can see, they're usually early in the day, lunchtime, or just after the end of the day. They don't work for every country, so make sure you do your own research and based on your target audience and where they're based, what time zone they're based in, find what is the best time to do your post. You can also make use of LinkedIn Analytics. It comes with LinkedIn. So when you start posting, always go back and check how did my post do? What kind of people engage with it? What was the time they engaged with? Why did it not work? Because that data will help you for your future posts so you can learn and not repeat the mistakes and instead do it better the next time. Now, looking at the LinkedIn profile itself, some key things where a lot of people don't do very well. One, your name. You don't have to put your full passport name. If you have a long name, just keep it catchy and short so that not only it fits in the real estate when it's shown on the newsfeed or anywhere else, but also it's easy to remember. And secondly, the tagline or slogan or the subtitle under your name. LinkedIn shows that in a lot of places. It's not only on your profile homepage, but when you make a post and your post appears in the newsfeed of somebody, other than your name, this little tagline also shows right there. So this is a really, really important real estate which we can exploit. I would really recommend you to put something here which you really want to sell or tell people other than your name. Um, I keep changing it based on what my current goals are. So if you're looking for a job, you can use that to put something on those lines. You've recently done a certification and you want to showcase that, you can use it for that. But make sure it's not blank and you're using it and you're changing it as and when required. Photo. A lot of people make mistakes and put fancy, non-professional photos. Wedding photos are not cool on LinkedIn. So either get a professionally done photo, which you can put here. If not, just put a blank background and take a nice selfie. Remove the background, fit the edit it a little bit, so you can put it on LinkedIn and it looks professional. Second, cover photo, and I think very few people on LinkedIn use that. This is similar to how Facebook has a photo, and this is a really important real estate. If someone opens your profile, since it's scrollable, this is the first thing on top of the page which shows, and you can use it really intelligently, showcasing what things you want to sell, what things you want to make people see at first. You can keep changing it. What I've done is and this was something I done a few months ago when I was shifting jobs. And I was trying to make sure that I had recently done some certifications. I had some accreditations. I want to make sure they were top on there so people can see even before the scroll. So I put the logos of all of those certifications in there. I was enrolled in an MBA program, so I put the logo for that in there as well. But this is how you can make use of this, and this is really useful. About a section really gives you a lot of space to describe who you are, where you want to go to, what are your skill sets. Because when you go to your jobs and experiences section, that's specific to that particular job. This is where you can put a lot of detail on your objectives, your aspirations, and other things which don't go in other parts of LinkedIn. Uh, Never copy someone else about me or description. It's very easily recognizable. So put time and effort, take a couple of hours, write that this is an important part of the profile and it's shown right under your picture. So spend some time here. And I would recommend keep it punchy, short, uh, and make sure you are formatting it nicely. What I have done here, as you can see, I've used a lot of emojis and icons to format it so it's easily readable. The list you can see here, the lot of certifications I've done over time, and to make sure they're easily readable, I've just used some Facebook style icons and emojis, an arrow icon, and some other things like I have a YouTube channel or a Medium blog. I put them here, key skills at the bottom. So you can see there's a lot of graphics and icons and symbols going on here, which have helped me. So there's a featured section on LinkedIn. Again, not very much used. I don't know why, but I have always very effectively used it. So the featured section, when you start posting on LinkedIn, you can mark a few of your posts and featured, and they will show up here. So basically, any posts which you have, whether they are text, image, video, or whatever, which you want to make sure more people see, just mark them as features, and Facebook shows them nicely as these little cards as you have here. So I made a lot of videos half a year ago when I was shifting jobs and I was targeting product leadership areas. And I just featured them here, and they got a lot of visibility and viewership because of that. So some tools in terms of creating content. So my favorite tool in terms of designing posts for LinkedIn, especially graphical posts, is a tool called Canva, canva.com. There's a free version. You also have a paid subscription, but that's where you can design your post images or templates for your LinkedIn posts. For scheduling posts, and this is really important, and that's where a lot of people struggle. As I said, being consistent on LinkedIn is really important, and that's where a lot of people struggle. You might be really excited, and you have time today, and you might go in and do 6 or 7 posts today, another half a dozen tomorrow, and then your motivation starts to slow down, and you don't have time. So you're not consistent, and all that hard work is going to wane. So what I do for that is I use a scheduling tool. There are a lot of them, like HotSuite and Buffer, others as well. So what I usually do is I'll take out an hour or two when I have that time, maybe on a weekend. I'll design a couple dozen posts, and then I use a tool called Buffer, which allows you to schedule those posts. I can pick what days I want to post them, what is the time I want to post them, and then that tool will automatically start posting them on my LinkedIn on my chosen dates and times. So all I did was took that hour or two to design all the posts, and then they are being scheduled and put on my LinkedIn automatically. So I would highly recommend you use a tool like that to make sure you're consistent on LinkedIn and you are putting 4 or 5, or whatever the number is that works for you. I think 4 or 5 is a little too high for a day. 2 to 3 posts a day is a good number, but schedule your week so that you are always consistent. And these tools also provide you really nice analytics, by the way, so you can see after posting for a few months that what is the best time for you. So that's another advantage of using those tools. And lastly, there's a tool called removebg.com. So you can use this to remove backgrounds for images just to create some more catchy posts. So that's something you can use as well. It's a free tool. So this is a snapshot of Buffer. As I said, it has a free version and a premium version. The free version only allows you to schedule 10 posts at a time, which I think is still good enough. But with the premium version, you can schedule for weeks or months in advance. So it's a very easy to use tool, Facebook style. You have a post creator, then you can schedule them based on your date and time. And not only on LinkedIn, you can also use this with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and other tools as well. This is a snapshot of Canva, the tool I just mentioned about designing posts. It comes with a lot of handy templates. You can just search what kind of template you need, for example, for a quote of a day or a technology template or whatever, and you just change the text, change the images if you need to, and you're done. So that was pretty much it based on my experience, what I've learned over time on how to best use LinkedIn. I'll take a moment here to see, I can see there are a lot of questions and comments coming in. So let's have a look at that. Okay, I think a lot of people are tagging each other. If there are any questions, we can wait for a moment. I'll look at the comments again in a moment. All right, I think we don't have any more comments or questions coming in. Okay, so we have a question about the premium account on LinkedIn. But in my opinion, I have only used premium account when I really have a goal I want to achieve on LinkedIn. For example, if I am trying to move from a particular role to a different one, I want to shift my job, I'm looking for a leadership position. So I'll subscribe for the premium version for a good few months, as long as I'm in the market again looking for a job. And I think it is extremely useful. My most favorite feature in the premium version is when you're applying for a position through LinkedIn premium version, it will tell you how many other applicants are applying, how do you stack against them, how many have done certain degrees, how do you stack against them in terms of your professional experience, your skill set. That gives you really an indication of how the market is doing, how do you stack up against other candidates for a particular role, so you can prepare or find your weaknesses in that way, so to say, to understand the market better. It also tells you kind of a salary bracket of what people are expecting and what you can expect from this role. So I think LinkedIn Premium is really worth it. But depends on when you want to use it. I don't use it throughout the year. I only subscribe on a need basis for a few months and then unsubscribe and use the usual free version. Okay, in that case, I think we're done. I hope you guys found it useful. We'll have another session in a few weeks' time, looking at building your digital brand or online presence using your website, your portfolio. So until then, have a good day and hope you found this useful. I have the link for my YouTube and LinkedIn. I hope you can subscribe there and connect with me on LinkedIn for more content.